Once upon a time, there lived a kind husband and his gentle wife. Their little home stood beside a beautiful garden filled with all kinds of fresh fruits and colorful vegetables, shining brightly under the morning sun. One bright and peaceful morning, the husband and wife sat by the window, enjoying their breakfast together. The birds were singing outside, and everything felt calm and happy. As they were eating, the wife looked out of the window and saw the neighbor's garden, full of shiny fruits and fresh vegetables. Her eyes stopped on some bright red fruits that looked really tasty. They were called Rapunzels. Excitedly, she turned to her husband and said, "Look, dear, there are Rapunzels growing in the neighbor's garden. They look so fresh and delicious. Could you please bring me some?" The husband got scared. He knew the garden belonged to a witch. "My dear," he said nervously, "that garden isn't safe. It belongs to the witch who lives next door. If she sees me there, she might cast a spell on me." A few days later, the wife fell very sick. She didn't want to eat anything her husband gave her. All she wanted were the Rapunzels. "Rapunzels," she said softly. "They're the only thing that will make me feel better." The husband was very worried about his sick wife. That night, he gathered all his courage and quietly went into the witch's garden. "I hope the witch isn't here," he thought. "I'll pick a few Rapunzels quickly and run back home." But suddenly, from behind him, the witch appeared. Her face was full of anger. Her eyes was like fire. She shouted, "You are stealing my Rapunzels. You are a thief. I will cast a spell and turn you to stone." The husband was terrified. His hands trembled and his knees shook as he fell to the ground. "I am so sorry. Please don't punish me," he pleaded, his voice trembling. "My wife is very sick, and I only took the Rapunzels to help her get better. I promise I will do anything you want. Please have mercy on me." The witch said in a cold, sharp voice, "I don't want your money or anything else, but I will tell you what I want instead. Listen carefully. When your wife recovers and has a baby, I will come to take the child away. You must give the baby to me. If you try to keep the child and don't obey me, I will use my magic and turn you into stone. You must promise me or something terrible will happen." The husband's heart raced, and fear filled his whole body. He bowed his head, feeling helpless, knowing he had no choice but to agree to her cruel demand. The husband returned home, his heart heavy with worry. He felt sad and afraid, but he carefully carried the Rapunzels to his wife. "Here, my dear," he said softly, trying to hide his fear. "These are the Rapunzels you wanted. I hope they help you feel better." The wife took the Rapunzels and ate them with joy, enjoying every bite as if she hadn't tasted anything so wonderful before. After eating Rapunzels, she began to feel stronger and healthier. A warm smile spread across her face as she said happily, "These Rapunzels are making me feel better." Time passed gently, like the soft wind that rustles through spring leaves. The days in the little cottage were once again filled with laughter and warmth. The wife grew stronger with each passing day, and her smile returned like a sunshine. The husband was overjoyed to see her happy and healthy once more. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Life in the little cottage became peaceful once again. The husband's days were filled with smiles and laughter as his wife grew stronger, and the dark memory of the witch's words slowly faded away. And one day, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The little cottage was filled with joy and laughter once again. The baby's soft cries echoed through the rooms, bringing new life and warmth to the home. But soon after the baby was born, the witch appeared. "I've come to take the child," she declared harshly. "You promise me your child in return for my Rapunzels, or I'll turn you into stone." The poor husband had no choice. "I must keep my promise," he said sorrowfully. "You can take the baby." The witch lifted the baby into her arms and gazed at her carefully. "I will name you Rapunzel," she said. "That is the name of the fruit your father stole from my garden. From now on, you belong to me. When you grow up, You will live with me and help me with my work, just like a servant." The witch took little Rapunzel and kept her hidden away in a tall, lonely tower deep in the heart of the forest. The tower was very strange. It had no doors to enter and no stairs to climb. The only way to see outside was through a tiny window at the very top, far above the ground. As the years went by, Rapunzel grew into a gentle and beautiful young woman. Her hair became incredibly long and golden, flowing like a shining river all the way down to the ground. Despite her beauty, Rapunzel was very lonely. She had no friends to play with, no family to love her, and no one to share her thoughts and dreams. The only person she ever saw or spoke to was the witch who had raised her. Every day, Rapunzel would sit by the tiny window at the top of the tower, gazing out at the forest below. She would sing softly to herself, her gentle voice carrying through the trees, wishing that someone, anyone, might hear her and come to be her friend. "Hello, is anyone out there? Won't someone be my friend? I'm lonely and I need a friend, a true friend." Whenever the witch came to visit, she stood at the base of the tall tower and called up to Rapunzel in a loud, commanding voice. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. I need it now to climb the stair." Obediently, Rapunzel let her long, golden braid fall from the tiny window, cascading like a shining rope all the way to the ground. The witch grabbed the thick, gleaming strands and climbed steadily to reach the top. Poor Rapunzel spent every day working hard in the tower. She cooked meals for the mean old witch, washed all the dishes, and cleaned the little rooms. She served the witch everything she asked for and even helped take care of her, but the witch was always cruel and never kind. Rapunzel was very lonely and tired, and her days were long and full of chores. One day, a kind and handsome prince was riding through the forest. Suddenly, he heard a beautiful singing voice that made him stop and listen. Amazed by Rapunzel's beautiful singing, the sound was so lovely that he could not look away. Just as he was about to call out to her, he saw the mean witch walking toward the tower. Quickly, he hid behind a big tree and held very still, hoping the witch would not see him. The prince watched the witch stand at the base of the tower and call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." He stared in awe as Rapunzel's long golden hair tumbled down like a shining rope, and the witch used it to climb all the way up to the window. After the witch had gone, the prince stepped out from his hiding place. He took a deep breath and called up to the tower, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair." To his great joy, Rapunzel's long braid tumbled down from the window, and he carefully climbed up the tower. When Rapunzel saw him, she was both surprised and delighted. It was the first time she had ever seen anyone other than the witch. The prince gave her a gentle smile. "Don't be afraid," he said softly. "I heard your beautiful singing and had to find out who was making such a lovely sound." One day the prince said, "Rapunzel, will you marry me? If you agree, I'll bring a silken ladder so I can help you climb down and escape from this tower." "Yes, my dear prince," Rapunzel replied happily. The prince smiled and said, "I'll return soon, Rapunzel. Then I'll take you far away from this tower and the wicked witch forever." But little did they know, the witch had been secretly watching them. She saw that Rapunzel wanted to leave the tower and that the prince was planning to come and rescue her. Filled with anger and jealousy, the witch decided to punish Rapunzel and the prince. In her fury, she cut off Rapunzel's long, beautiful golden hair and cast a powerful spell on her. The angry witch then took Rapunzel far away and left her in a lonely, empty desert, with no one around to help her or keep her company. Rapunzel was all alone, with only the hot sun and sand for miles and miles around. When the prince came back and called for Rapunzel, the witch tricked him. He climbed the tower, expecting to see Rapunzel, but the wicked witch was there instead. She pushed him down, and he fell onto a thorny bush. The thorns hurt his eyes, and the prince became blind. Poor Rapunzel wandered alone in the hot, empty desert. She was hungry and thirsty and had no one to help her. The prince searched everywhere for her, not giving up, Many months later, they finally found each other. Rapunzel was so happy that she cried tears of joy, and her magical tears fell into the prince's eyes, healing them and making him see again. Finally, Rapunzel and the prince returned safely to the prince's kingdom. Everyone was overjoyed to see them together again. The prince and Rapunzel were married in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by friends and family, and from that day on, they lived happily ever after, sharing love, joy, and adventures together for the rest of their lives. After the witch caused so much harm, the king's guards came to take her away. She screamed and thrashed, trying to escape, but they dragged her into a tall, dark tower that would be her jail. The heavy door slammed shut behind her, and the tower was so strong that she could never get out.